Welcome to the Dirt Trail Running Podcast. My name is Michelle Hartwig, and I am your host. And it is Friday night, July 23rd. We have a bunch of really cool news. It's going to be hard to get through because so much great stuff is going on. And I've got a bunch of awesome co-hosts tonight that have all been part of the news this week. So why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Crystal the Pistol. What's up?
I'm Ryan Steiner. Hot pickles.
I'm Coach Loretta. Hey.
Hi, and I'm Coach Steph.
Hi, I'm Kristen Napora.
And we have Royal, my son, here doing the behind-the-scenes stuff, and my husband, Royal, is here tonight, too. We'll bring him on later on the show. He's learning how to do it in case Little Roe, my 6'4" son, ever needs to take a day off. So tonight we have Brooklyn Wildlife Trail Race, the FKT on the Pacific Crest Trail, Badwater 135, Oops, I Did It Again, Britney Spears. We got trail coach athletes. And I'm just curious, what do you guys want to start with?
Oops, I did it again.
Yeah, let's start with Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, we're going to start right off. Because, I figured, we're all so busy running trails and everybody, we need to keep up on the good gossip, the People magazine stuff. And so while you're running, you can hear about it from us because this is the dirt. And Britney's pretty cool. I don't know. Did you guys watch her? I was a little older when she came out, but did you guys, when she was popular, were you younger watching her?
I mean, she hit me in my prime time when I was in high school, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was pretty big fan, for sure.
I feel like Royal should cue the music right now. Shouldn't we have a little background music?
I know. But Britney's had a rough last 13 years, so she's been under the how do you say that?
Conservatorship?
Yeah. Crystal says it much easier. Well, I'll put that up to her. And so I looked a little bit of that up. That happened. So she kind of had it looks like she had a meltdown 13 years ago when her and Kevin Federline broke up. She lost her kids, which I can't even imagine losing custody of your kids. She grew up in the spotlight, super duper, tough stuff. And so she's been under this conservatorship. Hey, I got it.
Yay!
Ding, ding. So for 13 years, and she just went in front of a judge, and Britney addressed the judge and said that she said, ma'am, my family should be in jail. And she described that she's been isolated, heavily medicated, financially exploited, and emotionally abused by her dad, Jamie Spears. And then she referred to her family. And if you go to Instagram, you'll want to follow them on Instagram if you want to keep up on the dirt. And her sister, Jamie Lynn, she went to Instagram and she was like, I've been on, free Britney before it was a popular hashtag, and saying that, she's always supported her sister because everybody was, acting like it was her sister she was talking about. And then Britney, after she did that, Britney went on to Instagram and said, no, she is mad at her sister. She didn't like that her sister went and performed her song at an award show. I mean, that's pretty crappy. Yep. And so the whole family, seems to, the way it's being reported anyhow, they seem to be financially benefiting from Britney, and Britney hasn't had a say in everything. So then Jamie Lynn went on to Instagram, and I wrote it down what she said. She said, may the peace of the Lord be with you in your spirit. And so that was kind of passive aggressive, I guess, at Britney. And then Britney went on and said, may the Lord wrap your mean ass up in joy today.
So funny.
So yeah, so there's been all kinds of drama on that. I think everybody is getting behind Britney. I worry about her. I hope she can take care of herself, but she has the right to take care of her family or take care of her own body and perform what she wants to perform. And
Oh yeah, for sure. It's been interesting watching her go from the Mickey Mouse Club with, Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera and whoever else was on that show. And then you just kind of see them blossom, but there's a lot that happens that none of us know about because we're not in that world. So there's a lot of control, and there's a lot of, you can do this and you can't sing this and you can't go here, you can't talk to this person, and we'll take care of your money, and we'll do this. And then she had that meltdown where she shaved her head and that wild stuff went down. But I think she was just having a breakdown, like a lot of people do, under a lot of stress, under a lot of scrutiny, under the public eye, lots of people. So I'm glad she's finally standing up for herself, and hopefully things will be okay with her. I've always been like #free Britney for years, because I heard about this, her dad controlling her a couple years ago. I went down this really weird rabbit hole of Britney Spears information, and it was just like, it was wild. She had like an allowance, her own money, but she only got a certain amount every month. She couldn't leave her house. She had to do this therapy, and then she had to perform when she was told to perform, even when she didn't want to. And she had that stint in Vegas, and that was like a whole big stressor for her. And it's just like, free Britney,
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Yeah, she
I
worked
took a
hard.
trip down that rabbit hole once.
You did?
Oh yeah. About 6 months ago, I discovered free Britney and was like, what? And so, I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff, but I went down that rabbit hole because I was like, oops, I did it again.
Yeah, and then Donna Jasper, she's, like we've realized she's like got trail people, ultra runners at heart, because Donna Jasper says that oops, I did it again is like when we go to sign up for another race.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. Actually, me and Dr. Lauren were talking about that today, because I went out to Rituals Chiropractic and got adjusted. Well, I didn't get adjusted, but my boyfriend and my daughter got adjusted. I have poison ivy all over me, so there was no adjustments today for me. But we were talking about how, like, we're talking about hennepin. Like, wow, oh my gosh, I don't want to ever do that again. When am I signing up next? That kind of thing.
And I feel you on the poison ivy. Oh,
bro, the poison ivy, it's the worst.
I like 40% of my body's covered because I got it like at the beginning of my long run and then just sweat it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never had it.
Oh, you're so lucky.
It's awful. This is the first time I've had it. The first time I've ever had it.
I got the steroid. I couldn't take it anymore.
So did I.
That's good.
I was like, the agitation from itching is worth the exchange. Plus, I get some extra muscle recovery for a few days.
Right.
So what do you do if you get poison ivy? I don't know. It's like a rash that gets on your skin.
Well, it's like it's like a.
Are you from this planet?
I've never had it. I've ran right through it, but I'm immune to it, I think.
Well, they say like 10 to 15% of people get no reaction at all, and then there's like another percentage that's like mild to moderate, and then everyone else is like an extreme. I'm more of like a moderate to severe reaction, as it turns out, but I didn't get mine running in the woods. I got mine landscaping my yard because there was poison ivy hidden in these bushes, and I'm like in there in a tank top and shorts, pulling weeds and doing landscaping, and didn't realize it was there until 3 days later when I woke up covered in rashes, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I didn't wash myself properly. I didn't clean my clothes properly. I was touching everybody and everything.
So you can give it to somebody else by touching them?
You cannot give it to someone else.
Well,
It's oil based.
It's oil based. So if you have like the oils on your skin and you take off from the plant and you
not from the rash.
It's not from the rash. Yeah.
So like you could like, if you were petting someone's dog who had just run through it and the oils are on their fur and you pet the dog, you can get it that way.
Yep.
Can you get it in your eyes? Like I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that sounds really scary.
I had it up here. I had it all down my face, down my neck. It's all over my chest, my stomach, my legs, my arms. It's going away now because I got this. Finally got steroid, but my arms were like raised up, like swollen, bumpy.
So sorry.
The whole inside of my whole legs and my torso are covered because my legs were rubbing together for 3 hours with it, and I climbed over a down tree and then drug the chariot over the tree too, and so I was all up in the tree.
Oh yeah.
I got it mine this winter going ice skating. I walked down our woods path to go ice skating, and I got it.
Yeah,
so
it's
in the
really
winter,
bad.
Wow.
In the winter,
Yeah, so you can actually get the oils even if the plant is dead, and you can also like breathe it in if the plant is burned.
Yep.
Is there something you can put on ahead before your run to stop from getting pants?
Pants.
We have people taking off the pants too, because like rubbing the pants that rubbed on it.
Yeah.
We used to like vines of it in my yard when we were kids, and it was fall, and my brother and his friend were like swinging on the vines, and both woke up, their entire faces swollen because they had there were no leaves on it, so there's nothing to watch out for, so they're just hanging on the vines on the trees.
Yep.
After I posted a picture of my poison ivy, I got a rush of messages from people, but Greg Sturdy messaged me with the best one, which was this bar of soap that you can use after you've gone running in the woods. If you use it within 30 minutes, it will prevent or minimize the poison ivy. So I definitely bought myself a bar of that.
So here's one of my tricks is I haven't gotten to use it yet, thankfully, because I've been so careful this year about these plants because I'm really allergic to it. But they say, like Ryan is saying, if you use a product within like 30 minutes to an hour of like contacting the plant oils, is you can get it off in time so that it doesn't react with your skin. So my little trick is carry a little Ziploc with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and like a little tissue.
Oh, okay.
Not a tissue that dissolves necessarily, but like if you just have that, you can like keep it in your pack. So if you accidentally, because like think about it, us like trail runners, we'll be out in the woods like hours. Do you think we're gonna have time to like go back to our car within 30 minutes of contacting it? Not really. It's not realistic. So that's kind of like my little hint now is to kind of carry a tiny little bag with something for an emergency.
Yeah.
Would like the alcohol wipes for like first aid kits work?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like pretty small though. You want to have something bigger to like wipe the whole area. Be a little.
No, I'd have like 50 of them in there.
So we're hoping that you just don't go running through a whole like field of it or anything like that.
Right.
Oh, but I have some dirt that just came out of this. Crystal mentioned Dr. Lauren, and even Michelle doesn't know this, but I messaged Dr. Lauren today, and she's agreed to be on the dirt, so she'll be coming soon.
Yes.
Dr. Lauren!
So there you have it. You get dirt. Even the people, the host and the co-host don't know about the dirt.
Yeah, I didn't know. We've been saying, like, after the show's over, we need to have Dr. Lauren on.
Yeah.
So Dr. Lauren takes care of the 50K at the Hennepin 100 race. So she's got great energy for starting that race. And then she like volunteers all day taking care of runners. And she has a great chiropractic office in Sterling, Illinois, which is by the start line.
Yep.
So yeah,
awesome.
Next week I don't want to. We've got a lot to talk about, but we've got some really big Hennepin news that we're not going to talk about this week. Everybody has to tune in next week for the big, awesome Hennepin news. Super exciting, like new stuff, really, really good.
Oh, good. That's awesome. We just rode our bikes on the canal today.
Oh, good.
Kaylee was with us, so we did about 10. We didn't do more than 10 miles just because it was 90 degrees and it's hot. But But yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it. Love the canal.
Yeah. So
I programmed it into my new treadmill and got to run the terrain, because you can put a map into my treadmill and it will then go the terrain that you're doing. I was like, yeah. And there were glitches of it, but some parts of it I could have the live view of the canal on my
I wonder how they get the live view of it. That's really cool. So like, what app is it?
It's in the iFit on my
iFit
treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
And is that something you can like put on a phone? Because like I've watched the apps to like do workout videos, and I just put it on my phone. Can you do that?
Yeah, you can get it on your phone.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
And they get it. They do it by satellite.
Yeah, they use Google
Satellite
Images, I think.
Yeah.
So
I think
in a lot of
is
locations, they do have like the images. So like you can take iFit and run in like downtown Carrots if you wanted. But you know, occasionally these trails, they'll have like pictures of the maps, and you can go visit it or like go back to places you've run before, and you'll be like, yeah, I remember that mailbox or whatever.
Yeah, the first one I tried was Galena, but it didn't have any data for that path, because they have to get it, but they did have it for the Hennepin, so that was pretty cool.
I'm super excited they had it for the Hennepin. Let's see.
That's cool.
Yeah, Oscar just got done commenting, and I actually, so this is going a little bit back to thank you, Oscar, by the way, for commenting. We love it when our listeners are in there, and this is going back to Britney a little bit, and I actually looked this up and saw it today too, but Britney's dad saw his mother, I mean, this is really sad, actually, commit suicide at her son's grave when he was little. So,
that's too bad.
Yeah, super, super sad stuff. But we should.
So is that like a reasoning for him wanting to try and control Britney so she doesn't go down that same path as his mom, or is there some kind of connection
could
there?
Be, yeah.
Like
it sounds
maybe
like
he thinks he's doing something good for her, like watching out for her.
Yeah.
Well, potentially that could, you know, there could be some mental illness in the family that he's afraid of.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it sounds like he had, you know, there's actually a lot, you can go down a rabbit hole, and it sounded like he had some major drinking issues himself when Britney was young, and so definitely some, you know, problems in the family. But we're all, you know, sending all of our good energy to Britney's way, Britney's family's way.
Yeah.
So what's next? Should we do Badwater, the FKT on the Pacific Crest Trail?
Let's do Badwater.
Badwater?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess that we should give the Badwater race, you know, talk, just in case somebody doesn't know where it is. It's the Badwater Basin. It starts in Death Valley, which is the lowest spot in the United States. It's 280 feet below sea level. And then it goes up, it finishes at Whitney Portal, which is, 8,300 feet, which I thought this was kind of funny. It's the trailhead to summit Mount Whitney, which I'm thinking, why doesn't somebody just run there and then summit? Like how has somebody not thought about that? You're right at the trailhead of where you could summit Mount Whitney, but maybe somebody should do that. I don't know. I'll volunteer Steph because she likes to do hills.
Wait, after she runs 135 miles through Death Valley?
Yeah, then just keep on going. Okay. let's make a campaign to get Steph into Badwater.
Right.
Make the hardest foot race
hills and heat.
the hardest.
Yeah.
Right.
And
the heat, Steph, the heat.
I know. I wanted to get in. It's just kind of hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a Steph, and Crystal for sure is going to be signing up to be crew because she loves the heat too.
I do love the heat.
Well, I think you got an in though. If you're going to summit Mount Whitney after you run it, then they're going to let you in.
Right.
Want to do that. There's your in. Golden ticket.
Yes. Yeah. So I just looked up a couple little fun facts from today. And whatever you guys got, I thought one thing was really cool. You know, you could go to their Facebook page and you can see everybody finishing, which is really cool to see. And they all finish with their crew. And one guy named Jack Corey, which everybody might know who he is. I actually didn't. he had lost his bib at some point during the race, so they made a new one out of duct tape. And so
That's awesome.
so you'll have to look up his video. And then there was a course record for the 60-plus-year-old women. Norma Roberts from Canada, 33 hours, 37 minutes, and 49 seconds. And she didn't have a pacer.
She did well.
Yeah.
She did not have a pacer?
She did not have a pacer.
Oh, my gosh.
And
Good for
then
her.
And then our friend Lindsay Phoenix was out there. She was crewing for Run It Fast founder Joshua Holmes, and this was his 7th straight year of finishing the race. So that was really, really cool to see. I know Steph had a friend out there too.
Yeah, so my friend Nettie, I met her actually at Hellgate, and then I stalked her on Ultra Sign Up because that's what I do. And like, she's done so many of the races that I want to do in life. I want to like grow up to be her. Like, so she's like such an inspiration. So she went out, I watched her train through, like, since she got in, basically. She was doing all of the sauna work. You know, she was the female finisher for Potawatomi 200. And so she got that Potawatomi jacket, and she just wore it during like all of her training runs. And it's like a puffy jacket. And so she ended up finishing 7th, I think, female.
That's fantastic.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's
Good
been
for her.
doing a lot this year. Like, yeah, really good year for her. Yeah, you need to get her to come be on the podcast.
I can ask.
Yeah.
Well, Kathy Cooper from Book Club, she was one of the volunteers at Badwater. And so she's been sending me some gorgeous pictures, and I'm just like, I gotta go do this. So
she's there right now?
She did get the privilege of doing it. I wish I could put it. Well, maybe
That's
I did.
awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that great?
Oh, I can't wait to talk to Kathy about it.
I think Kathy was planning to be watching tonight. I think I saw a post somewhere.
Yeah.
It was my
Nice.
post.
Oh.
That's where she posted that picture, because I
Oh, okay.
posted that I was going to be on here. She sent me several pictures. They're quite beautiful.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Kathy Cooper, we should give her a shout out. She does a lot of volunteer work on the Hennepin Canal Trail. She goes out there and like, if people, they shouldn't do this, they put graffiti on the bridges and stuff, and she paints it, and whatever can be done. She volunteers a lot, like at least once a month. So she's really awesome at Book Club. Really great. And she's running Hennepin. She ran Hennepin 100 virtual last year. She's running again this year.
She's also a really good support person within the online community. She does a lot of interacting. So.
Yeah. Yeah, really great. So I guess we can move on to we also have the athletes. Should we talk about Ornery Mule athletes?
Sure, that sounds great. All right. Well, I love to brag about our athletes, so I'll go ahead. So this last week we had Alicia Vogel. Actually, I coach her, and she ran her first half marathon. She was super excited. She had ran a 5K, which was her first race ever a few weeks before. She kind of jumped in with her brother. So she'd been kind of nervous about this race, but she crushed it. She ran an hour 49 and finished second in her age group and 25th out of 103 runners. So she had a great race. When she first came to me to get coached, she was like, I'm going to run half marathons. Well, I can tell you that she's got a seed of thinking about a marathon and qualifying for Boston now. And I think she can do it. So,
Awesome.
So that's exciting. Yeah. And then I'll let Coach Steph talk about Kimberly. Do you want to talk about her race at Brooklyn?
Oh, yeah. So Kim signed up last minute, actually, for Brooklyn. She had a long run plan for the weekend. She's been building up for the Mines of Spain 100 and possibly doing a back-to-back with Tunnel Hill. So she's trying to get really good volume, really good base. And, she's been putting herself out there in the heat. She came out to Brooklyn Wildlife and she ended up second female in the 24 miler, which is not an easy course.
Yeah.
Nice, Kim. Good job.
And
Awesome.
yeah, she was pushing it too. So we were running one of the aid stations And how far were we from the finish line, Steph? Our aid station.
You're 2.8 miles.
2.8. Yeah. So, but then there was an out too, and she was like having some stomach issues, and she saw that the next female was coming up behind her, and she had just almost, she had almost thrown up, and then she's like, "Oh wait, I gotta go," and she just took off, and she dropped her like really, she got quite a bit in front of her, so she ran really hard and smiled and she went live on Facebook.
Awesome.
She loves it. Like she came into for the first time for 12 miles, and I was like, "Hey Kim, your second Pinot, right?" She's like, "I am," and she goes like straight to the aid station, grabs whatever she could see, and then she heads straight back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Such
Good
good
for her.
energy.
Nice. And then we have Kyla Mahoney, and she ran Ultra Sweaty Santa 6 hour, and she ran 26.3 miles, and she is coached by Coach Karen, and she's training for a 100-mile race, but I can't remember exactly which one. But so she's doing really well. And then the last one I would like to talk about is also one of my athletes, and that's Robert Swiederski. He didn't do a race, but he did run for a cause. He's running for Blue Lives and to spread awareness for mental illness with officers for the Chicago Police Department. So he did a 24-hour run to raise awareness, running around City Hall, which I think was a half-mile or quarter-mile block, and he ran 110 miles to raise awareness. He had some officers out there. It was a really great event. There was a lot of nice news coverage. So if you know Robert, or if you don't, go to his page. There's ways that you can support his cause too. So it's Robert Swiederski.
Yeah.
And I just think we should bring that to attention because it really supports our motto of, kindness and community. Robert has a huge passion for that.
Yes, he absolutely does.
And that's all for our athletes.
Okay. And we touched on Brooklyn Wildlife, but Coach Steph, it was her first time race directing an Ornery Mule race, and she did a fantastic job. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
And the Trail Sisters there in Madison. So Steph and Kristen are the heads of the Trail Sisters, and they really did this is kind of a home trail for them that they do a lot of their runs on, and they did a great job welcoming everybody. You guys want to talk a little bit about what the course is like? I got to, go out on it with you guys. It's so pretty, but, why don't you share, about your runs and stuff like that?
So the race basically starts off of Frenchtown Road, which is just a tiny little farmer's road, but it's kind of in the middle of the Montrose Ice Age section. And then it heads south from there. So like if you're thinking like the Ice Age Trail, I hope this is not mirrored, but it might be. So, you have like the western terminus, and it comes down through Wisconsin and goes up towards Door County. We're kind of heading down towards like the Janesville area. So if you can kind of picture that. And then from the Montrose section, it immediately goes into the Brooklyn Wildlife section. And then it ends at a road called Hughes. And Kristen loves Hughes.
Well, I live like a mile down Hughes when it turns into a different road. So I'm like there every weekend.
So Kristen wanted to volunteer so much that she put herself twice on the ultra sign up volunteer list. And I was going through, I was like, wait a minute, there's not someone signed up twice, kind of going through the list. And so I, messaged Kristen, and I was like, hey, so do you want to like help mark the course, and do you want to do sweeping? So she can tell you more about that. It's her first time, I think, marking a course.
Yeah, my first time marking and sweeping. And it was good because I did both because I knew where all the flags were to go pick them back up. Except for the ones Steph planted in the first half. But so from Hughes, like going out, we took a Trail Sisters run out there and discovered a gigantic tree in the middle of the trail on one of our runs and let them know it was there earlier. And this is like far enough out from Madison, and they're working on so many other Ice Age trail segments, extending them. It kind of gets forgotten about. So half the time I'll run with like a foldable hacksaw or like clippers, and I'll shove them in my pack and and just take care of things myself. So we're like, well, we'll just wait and see. And then marking, it was still not taken care of. Or the day before, I noticed, I took my son for a hike and I was like, it's still out there. So we went out with the saw and like chopped a hole through the tree so we could get through the path.
I mean, it would have been really hard to get through. You can go to our Facebook page. Like, it wasn't just a little tree. And you would be.
It's a pretty big tree.
Yeah, and it was branchy too. It wasn't like you could just hurdle the stump of it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to ask, was your little friend on your hat there keeping the flies away
All
that
the
day?
time too. And one of our trail sisters, Ellie, her brother is up in Michigan in the UP, and he swears by these. So she told me about them last year, and I got it, and it was late in the season, so I didn't know if it worked. And then this year, I haven't had hardly any bug me.
Yeah, so if anybody's listening to this as a podcast, Kristen has a dragonfly on her hat, and it keeps the deer flies away. Does it keep anything else away, like people?
Yeah, people. I like that.
People think it's cute because it's cute and it bounces around. But
Well, what has been your experience with the red-winged blackbirds and the dragonfly?
They don't seem to care. And there's a couple
Oh.
dragonflies that actually fly around in the marshier area of Brooklyn Wildlife. I was kind of worried they might either chase me or, but they don't seem to care either. But another trail sister told us about she got a hat with gigantic owl eyes on it for the red-winged blackbirds, and she says it works really well.
Oh, that's what you need for Kettle, an owl with a big owl.
Mm-hmm.
So you run with owls on your hat, and then the
Oh, yeah,
dragonfly.
yeah,
So that'll just keep everything away. Just make sure you don't have like a snake or something, because then the owls will come down and grab it off of your hat.
Right.
But yeah, everyone was just like really nice. All of the volunteers were just so entirely helpful, and I'm so thankful for everyone who came out and helped, like before, after, during, and I think a lot of people will come back to this race. There were some people who came back from previous years, and we had a lot of new people as well. And it was really fun because the one of the first place winners, I think it was the 12 miler, he biked from downtown Madison, and like we stored his bike like next to the tent. He came back and he like biked back home. I was like, wow, you just like crushed this course. And he had a fast time too. I think it was like an hour 28 minutes or something for 12 miles on like technical Ice Age single track. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I saw he was moving shoes. I forget, they're moving shoes race team. They're always like so fast.
Yeah. I mean, that was last night too. We were at a race together too. But yeah, I was like actually at a race last night where people actually came up to me to talk about like the race, and I was like, that's pretty exciting, it's being the first time I've done this, and they were asking about like Arbor Ridge and stuff like that, because that's the next race that's coming up. So super excited about all of that and what's to come.
Yeah, and so Steph called me about, I'm really excited about Arbor Ridge. So Steph went out and checked out the course, and she was just so excited about all the possibilities there, and has really great ideas for just the best course you could put out there. You want to talk anything about Arbor Ridge, about what it's like and what you hope that of a course you can put together for everyone?
Well, I hope people swear about the hills. That's one of the goals, right? It's a very, very hilly area, but like there's so many sneaky ways that you can just do hill repeats without actually repeating the parts of the trail. So I'm excited about that. We'll see. Like I'm thinking about making like a really fast 3-mile course out there. So for the kind of reward for trying to push yourself really hard, and then like kind of like the 10-mile being the challenge, and kind of like a 5-mile a little bit in between.
Yeah.
So that kind of reminded me when you said that you hope people are like mad about the hills. We're reading on Ornery Mule Book Club, we're reading Rise of the Ultra Runners, and the author was talking about running this race. I don't know, Ryan, if you remember what I'm talking about, but he was complaining about how hard it was. And like, I'm going through all of this, and he's like, these race directors are doing this intentionally to make me miserable.
And then the race will feature a nice water crossing, which is actually pretty rare out here in the Midwest. You know, because you have all these nice, I appreciate all of the boardwalks and all of the bridges that the volunteers put in, but this is kind of a unique thing that we can bring to the race.
Yeah, I think that's fun. I'm looking for what day is that race? I can't remember right now.
August 7th.
So coming up, and there's a few spots open, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you want to get a spot, you got to get on it.
Yeah, because it's we capped it at only 50 runners, and we got all the rollovers in first, and it just opened up, I think, today to anybody that chose not to roll over. So get signed up now.
Where should you go to get signed up?
Ultra sign up.
Yeah.
So good. Let's see. What else do we got? Oh, and then, speaking of book club, it reminds me about Dean. So we gave Dean Carnazes a burpee challenge. Well, I went out, I did 25 burpees, and I challenged Dean to 25 burpees, and he accepted the challenge today. And yes. With Coach Loretta could talk about that.
Yeah, it's so cool. So he was on the Dirt podcast. So if you haven't listened, it's a must listen. He also came to book club, and he was really, I'm just going to brag a little, because he was really impressed with Michelle being able to do 25 burpees. He's like, that's really respectable. And he was pretty impressed. And I'm like, whoa, we need a challenge. So Michelle went out and did it. And so as soon as she posted it on Facebook, I sent the link to Dean, and I'm like, the title was like, you've been challenged. But it took a few days for him to respond, so I thought maybe he was too busy. But today I got his response, and he's actually headed to Australia. So he plans on doing this. He's wondering if in the Southern Hemisphere that burpees are going to be easier down there. He plans on doing it. So hopefully we'll get a video soon of Dean responding to Michelle's challenge.
Well, nice. It's winter there, so he won't have to worry about the heat.
I totally responded to her challenge when she put it on Facebook and came back with my own 25 burpees.
You did.
Nice.
You did.
Yeah, it is pretty. I mean, I don't think that they're that hard, but I think I pace myself a little too well. Maybe that's why.
I definitely paced myself. I paced myself, but I did do it in the hose. In a sprinkler.
There you go.
Oh, that's yeah. Perfect. Oh, yeah, I saw the video.
That's the perfect way to do burpees, in the sprinkler.
In the mud.
In the mud, yep.
Ryan was trying to decide about doing, we've been doing some Tough Mudder workouts, which he can talk about, but he was trying to figure out, how to do it, and kind of, we were talking through it. I'm like, you could always add a sprinkler to make it fun, and I think that made it fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, anything for muddier, because Tough Mudder, it's like just mud for the sake of mud.
Right.
For it.
Yeah, so the sprinkler makes it muddier.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so Ryan has a Tough Mudder coming up. You want to talk? I know Coach Loretta wrote up some really fun exercises for you.
Oh, yeah. It's been a lot of fun training for the Tough Mudder, because usually every week it's just, my running and everything, because Loretta's my coach. And then as it got closer to the Tough Mudder and we started doing more race specific stuff, she's like, I opened my Final Surge account and there's this list of something to jump over, something to crawl under, this list of obstacle course that I have to build in my yard. And then I messaged her to laugh about it, and she came back with, maybe you should try adding a sprinkler. And I'm like, okay. And so I wanted to make a joke about how she was trying to kill me with this exercise, but it was a whole lot of fun. And we mixed it up differently a couple of times. And then finally, the last time we settled on some Bulgarian bag stuff, and I learned some new moves with that. And it's been a lot of interesting training to get ready for the Tough Mudder.
And Ryan accepted the challenge well. And on a couple weeks prior, I had him do bear crawls and burpees. Well, then I see an Instagram account from Michael Wardian. Michael Wardian was on our kettle show, awesome, amazing runner. And he's doing a bear crawls and burpee workout. So I sent it to Ryan. I'm like, hey, even Michael Wardian is doing this.
We did it on the same day.
And I think his moves might have been better than Michael's. Maybe Michael, you should kind of go on a.
I did put together a montage video like that one, and like edited some music in there so you couldn't hear how painfully grunty I was.
Well, I'll have to tell you, I was looking at Michael's account again yesterday, or maybe even today, and he was doing wall walks. I almost sent it to you and told you that was your next workout. Those aren't easy.
I think Ryan needs to give Michael Wardian a challenge. Like
I think so too. Yeah, call him out.
Do the bear crawl with the sprinkler at him.
Yeah.
He's like, he did that square. He did the square, so I'll do the square around the sprinkler.
Yeah. I did forget to mention Michael had a 20-pound vest on when he was doing it, but hey.
I'm a lot heavier than him.
There you go.
My vest is way heavier.
Did Michael do Hard Rock? I feel like I saw him.
I think he did.
Yeah.
I think so. I know he's done a recent race I watched. I think it might have been Hard Rock.
And then he was out with a 20-pound vest doing wall walks.
20-pound vest doing burpees and bear crawls.
Okay. Well, that's great. Yeah. Hard Rock looked gorgeous. Did anybody, were you guys following along on that? Their online thing was really cool. Coach Loretta sent it to me where you could see where everybody was exactly.
Yeah.
It was awesome because you could click on it. You could see a picture of that athlete, and that was fun to follow. Mike Earhart, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, from Highlands, who was also on the Dirt Trail Running podcast. If you haven't watched that, again, another
was a good
fun one to watch. Yeah, he has some interesting stories, and he has a really cool race that he puts on. And he was also at Hard Rock, and was it his 5th or 6th finish?
Yeah,
he's finished several times.
Mm-hmm.
He had messaged me just a couple weeks before and told me he got in because he wasn't sure if he'd get in this year, but yeah, and he finished again this year.
That is awesome.
Awesome.
And I've been keeping up with the changes that they're making to the Hard Rock Lottery. So if no one's heard about that they're going to balance the number of like female entrants with the basically, so if you have I think it's the field, if there's 20% of the female enter Hard Rock, then basically they should have a weighted chance of getting in. So there's a chance that more females could get in without that weight, but there's a chance that 0 could get in without that weight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep. We were actually having a conversation at book club the other night. Happened to be a ladies only club, just happened to be that none of the men showed up. So we were actually having a good female conversation. And A Rise of the Ultra Runner talks about the inequity of female athletes and the pay and all of those pieces too. So we were talking about the whole piece with Hard Rock and changing that. So hopefully these little baby steps will, start something bigger.
Yeah, I think it was Gina from Trail Sisters, the absolute leader of Trail Sisters, was responsible for getting that into motion.
Yeah, I believe she's on the Hard Rock board. I think I read an article a while back on
I think that's right.
Yeah. So
I think you're right.
Great.
Heather mentioned that. Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, and speaking of book clubs, so during that all ladies book club, you guys kind of came up with, you thought it'd be nice to have an all ladies group conversation. So anybody watching, let us know if you want us to organize that and what kind of topics, menopause
Absolutely.
And stuff like that. So, anything, just let us know what you want and if you'd be interested in joining that.
Absolutely. You can reach out to me if you want, loretta.ornerymuleracing@gmail.com, or on Facebook you can find me. We would love to have it. It was a really great conversation. It just kind of happened because we had all females there the other night, and we kind of started to feel like, there's kind of a need for this. This would be a really good opportunity. So yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes
the book club picture did look like a really great ladies' night.
Yeah, it was.
I thought you guys looked like you had a really great time. It was all over your faces.
We did. We had fun.
And if you're not, it's the OMR Trail Running Community Facebook page. It's very active. We've got lots of great events on there. Yeah, I can see people popping up saying, yes, they want the ladies event. I mean, just a chance. Like, I mean, we love all the men, without a doubt. But sometimes there's stuff that, that you just want to, that's just private. That's, it's uncomfortable to talk about.
We don't want to hear it anyway.
Thank you, Ryan.
Right. But I want to make it clear, men and women are welcome to the book club.
Yeah.
It just happened to be that night.
Yeah, normally it's about half and half.
It is. It usually is.
I'm always there. I'm always
there. You weren't there this time.
You weren't there.
Because I was putting together my new treadmill. And when I read the instructions, I thought this would take an hour. It took like 8 hours.
8 hours, yeah.
You got a new treadmill? You don't have your pink one anymore?
I don't. It kept throwing me off.
Did you videotape it?
It got sweat down in it. And so it would speed up and it would just keep accelerating.
Oh, no.
Could not
That's
do that.
really dangerous.
Well, I'll miss the pink treadmill. That was
it's in the corner just in case.
Yeah.
It's still emergency.
So when you get super fast, after Coach Loretta's with you for a year. Well, that's good. Well, we should move on to Timothy Olsen, who just set the FKT. So that took him. Let's see. He averaged 51.3 miles a day on the Pacific Crest Trail.
That's not an easy trail.
Yeah, summits. It goes up and over a lot of mountains. It's all on the West Coast over there. It's 2,653 miles. And the previous record was 52 days, 8 hours, and 25 minutes. And he did it in 51 days, 16 hours, and 55 minutes. So
Holy moly.
And he started from the south and went north.
Okay.
So
that's awesome. That's really cool.
Did you guys see his Instagram page and his adorable kids? Oh my gosh, they're just so cute.
No, I didn't see his kids, but I did see a couple of posts about him on Instagram, and he was rocking it. I mean, honestly, woof.
Yeah, I can't imagine doing 51 miles a day for 51 days. 51. So, yeah, well, that was really cool. So, and then also I saw after he finished, it's a 31-mile hike out. So it's not like he finishes like at a road where someone picks him up. He has to go 31 miles out.
Wow. Wow.
What's another ultra?
A little cool down.
I saw that.
Can I get a helicopter, please?
Yeah. So when Ryan does it, he's wanting a helicopter.
Right.
Yeah, I saw his family or his team posted for him, and they're like, "Well, he has a 30-mile hike back, so but we're gonna post it because he's so excited he finished."
Yeah. Well,
Speaking of long treks, I saw Zach Bitter posted today that he has an injury, and he hasn't had an injury in I don't know if I've ever seen him post about an injury. So I'm not sure what that does to his transcontinental that's supposed to be coming up this fall, but he hurt his ankle, I think it was. Did you see his two stuff? Wasn't it his ankle?
Yeah. So he got an MRI, and it said that 2 of the ligaments were torn, and he's going to be having like injections. So he has to take like days off for these injections, but he's still allowed to do like light running. So I think he's just going to take it like day by day and see what happens.
So we wish him well and hope he a speedy recovery.
For sure.
Injuries are the worst.
Yeah.
They are the worst.
So, yeah, for Ornery Mule Racing, of course, we want to, it's very important to us that everybody feels welcome. We want we feel, we want to inspire everybody to be the best that they can be. And you know, whatever that is, whatever they're comfortable with, if that means that they're comfortable walking 3 miles a day, or if they want to run 100 miles a week, you know, whatever that is, we're hoping that we can inspire them and keep them healthy, uninjured. And so we actually started an Ornery Mule wellness challenge, and we want to, and it's free, and we're developing this. We want it to be more. So we're going to want a lot of feedback on that, but it's ornerymuleracing.com if you go to that page, and then you sign up for free, and we're going to like help encourage you to remember to drink water every day, to do some self-care, to put your mileage in there. And there's no judgment on mileage at all, but we want you to be consistent, because being consistent is what's going to make you better. Because it's real easy for like a couple weeks to go by and you're like, oh, I haven't done, kept up with my workouts. So we're hoping to help people be consistent. There's a spot if you've done any cross training, and also if how you're fueling your body, just to remind, this is a once a week chance for you to remind yourself to fuel your body well, to drink enough water, and then just kind of adjust it the next week. It's none of us are going to be perfect, but we want to help each other, be the best we can be, and then we can crush our fall races.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
And so self-care could be anything from soaking in an Epsom salt bath to reading a book, just laying in a hammock. What's that?
Or shopping.
Yeah, shopping. Like, yes, Steph went shopping for plants.
Yeah, joining book club.
Yeah, what is your? I'm ready for some self-care. I need a massage. My legs are getting kind of tight from my mileage, and I think I'm gonna self-care a massage here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. I have one Monday booked at Tricovery.
All right.
Nice.
I should do a plug there too, because we also have a Dirt podcast about Tricovery massage, and talking about fascial stretching therapy and the importance of massage for runners. So, and that was also a good conversation.
Yeah, those guys were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually, on the ornerymuleracing.com page, there is a spot that you can put your self-care, and we keep growing that page of ideas for self-care in case you are so busy working you don't remember what to do or need some new ideas.
Right. And what about recipes, Michelle? Are we accepting some recipes to add to that page as well?
Yeah, if anybody, so there's on the page, when you log in once a week, we'll send you a email so that you can upload all this. And there's links to recipes, there's links to self-care. There's Coach Loretta's done some videos of some different workouts that she does for some cross training ideas. What else do we have? Yeah, we'll just keep growing it. This is something we're learning as we do, but our absolute goal is for all of us to be the best that we can be, and to help one another out on it and be accountable. So yeah, there's a bunch of it's really cool. It's starting out really good. We had lots of people sign up right away, so it's still time to sign up.
Yeah, if you have a favorite recipe that you think's a great recipe to share, you can send it my way too, and I can get it on the website for people to share. There's a small group of recipes right now, but we're hoping to expand that.
Now, Loretta, did you add your there one like that salsa Mexican recipe?
I did. Mexican coleslaw. That's our addiction. I'm actually having it for dinner when we get off here. Because I sort of went on a date before here, and it was 6:00, and we had ice cream for dinner. So now we're gonna actually eat good food. But
nice.
The dessert first.
Yeah, but our small trek that was supposed to be 5 miles turned into 11 and a half. But I was really proud of my husband for making it the whole way and making it before the show. I didn't think I was gonna make it back. Yeah,
I know. I thought you were gonna call in from the trail.
I thought I was too, but I'm like, come on, you can run a little farther.
That's great. So what is everybody's running plans this weekend?
I'm tapering for the Tough Mudder next Saturday. So my running plans are to get in some good scenic runs that fulfill my soul, since they'll be much shorter than I've been.
Yeah.
Fulfill your soul. That's touching.
Yep.
I have my family's in town and my parents are runners and my dad got really into triathlon. So we're doing Trying for Children's Olympic as a relay. And I have to do the bike, which I haven't biked in forever because my wrists and my arthritis has been bad. So I'm going to try and sneak in a run too at Brooklyn Wildlife between all of the craziness of the triathlon and Sunday and everything. But
That sounds like a blast, though.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, good luck.
it's
Are you,
nice to have family that actually gets that, like, we're not the crazy ones. Like,
Are you taking back your local legend this weekend?
yes, I have to take back my local legend on Strava because somebody did it like one more time than me. And I Strava stalked her, and she's from Verona, so she runs out by stuff more than me. So I only have to do it a couple of times.
So when you see people on the trail, are like, are you the one that keeps taking my local legend?
I saw her picture, so I was like, I know what one it is. I don't remember seeing her, so I don't think we crossed paths. But and it's
that's
like it's the course of the Brooklyn Wildlife course, and it's divided in 2 segments. So there's the Hughes to D segment. And I do that one a little bit less. And then there's the Montrose one that's more fun. That's D down to Frenchtown Road.
That's funny. I was running with
like that one better too, because that one I've done 8 times and she's done it 8 times in like 90 days. So I was like, I gotta go back.
And that's funny. I was running with some of my running friends and they were talking about the segment that I run all the time. Only I don't record on Strava because I'm just weird and I don't like people to know where I'm running. So I manually enter into my Strava rather than actually go in there. So I don't get local legend status because they're like, how did we get local legend status? They're just on this all the time.
Yeah, I do the bubble around my house that's safe, so that
I've heard about that.
It won't record my walks like around the neighborhood, but it's far enough. I was like, I don't have like a specific time I work or anything, so I don't like run before work or anything. So it's not the same time.
Yeah, I'm probably the most unpredictable runner. I'm like, it looks like run time. Yeah. Whenever I feel like.
I'll be getting my stuff ready like 5 hours before a run, and my wife goes, "Oh, you're heading out for a run?" No. I'm just getting organized.
Getting the mind ready.
Right.
I like to get my shoes on and kind of do some footwork around the house, and then suddenly I'm like, it is time.
It's time.
So what happens, Ryan, if she moves your stuff? Does that bother you?
Oh,
like,
yes.
Will she put her shoe?
It's a thing.
Don't touch my stuff.
Don't touch my stuff.
So it looks like Crystal's not running this weekend because she kind of rolled her eyes.
She was trying to keep quiet so she didn't get called out.
Yeah.
Hey, it's hard to run with poison ivy. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. I'm not running because we did the 10-mile bike ride today, and I've been going for walks around the neighborhood, but I'm waiting until it goes down. I'm going to go to the gun range tomorrow instead.
Okay. Well, good luck. Yeah, I saw the pictures of Kaylee.
Oh yes. We have fun. It's an outdoor range, so it's fun. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll run on Sunday. Who knows? It's a 2-mile loop around my neighborhood, so maybe I'll get 2, 4, 6 miles in. Who knows? I'm just waiting for the poison ivy to go down because it's very uncomfortable. Yeah. I can't even sleep at nighttime because it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I had to take Benadryl to help me sleep, and I've been splitting my runs up. As soon as I start to itch, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah,
and then run again later.
Yeah,
it's rough.
What about?
I'm gonna run tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna run tomorrow morning. I'm not sure exactly how far because I'm meeting some friends to go to a distillery that is kind of near us. So we're kind of excited. We decided to start early so that we could walk it off before everybody had to drive home. So
yeah.
so yeah, and then Sunday I think I'm gonna get together with maybe some running friends and do a long run.
Cool.
What about Steph?
I think I'm actually going to head down to Arbor and see if I can figure out this course.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
So I can actually have a record of it. Just, I want to optimize things. So take a weekend to do that.
Nice.
And
Michelle, what about you?
Yeah, so my trail is like absolutely my secret trail that like I'm the only one out there on, even though everybody came. Runners are actually starting to show up out there.
Yeah, it's a good place. Yep.
But it's absolutely peaked for the summer right now. The flowers are insane. Like there is so many. And my husband went with me today. And let's see, like the bee balm, the compass plants look really cool. The Queen Anne's lace. I'm trying to think of what else.
Like,
flax.
The black-eyed Susans.
The black-eyed Susans. I mean, it is like huge fields of just yellow and purple and white flowers. It's so gorgeous right now. But it was hot. Like today, it was like 95 degrees, and it's meadows, so it's pretty open. And so we just did 3 miles today. I told my husband we were gonna do like 1 or 2, and he's like, that turned into 3. Like, well, 1's not normally 1, but tomorrow I'm getting up early so that I don't have to deal with the heat, and I got 10 on the schedule. So looking forward to it since it's so pretty.
Awesome. Yes.
So so I guess that's it for tonight. Was there unless there was something else we needed to share?
I don't think so. Not from me, no.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys all for coming in on Friday night. Thank you everybody in the audience that tuned in, and we will see you all next week. It might be a little earlier. We'll post what day we're going because we're running an aid station next weekend. So we maybe won't be able to do it Friday night, but if we don't, we'll do it on Thursday night or something. So we'll put that out there. But bye, everyone.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.